Hello, come and meet all your favourite characters. Here are the Teletubbies. They love to play.
Now, which way does it go?
Postman Pat's trying to help, but he seems to have got carried away.
Don't leave yet. Come back. I want to get off.
Lower away, Fireman Sam.
Okay, James.
If you're in trouble,
Just relax now. I'll try.
you need Fireman Sam. Pingu loves to play. And he's sure to make you laugh.
We need an extra porter today.
Ooh, can I be a porter? Thank you. All aboard! All aboard!
Watch out, Noddy. Mind that ant. Find all your friends on this fantastic range of videos. And you can hear them on these story tapes. Read about them in our wide range of books, from activity books and sticker books to bath time books. Don't forget the magazines. And these CD-ROMs will provide hours of fun with puzzles and games. BBC Worldwide, a chance to meet all your favourite characters.
Postman Pat and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you can never be sure. There'll be knock, ring, letters through your door. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man.
One sunny morning, Pat was hurrying along the road with a van full of letters and parcels for the people of Greendale. Suddenly, he had to stop. It was Alf Thompson driving his sheep across the road. Don't worry, Jess. They won't eat you. The sheep went into a field, and Pat was on his way again. His next stop was at the village school. Where is everybody? The children were bringing things to school for a display. Charlie Pringle had a bunch of flowers. Lucy Selby had brought a basket of eggs. My, your hens have been busy. And Tom Pottage had some day-old chicks. Hey, mind how you go. Whilst looking at all these things, Pat had forgotten his letters. But Bill Thompson came along with a cup of tea. "Thank you," said Pat. And Bill took the letters. Sarah Gilbertson came for his cup. "Have you done?" she said. "Nearly." "Thanks, Sarah. That was grand. Goodbye."
Postman Pat and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you can never be sure. There'll be knock, ring, letters through your door. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man.
Pat was getting on well with his round. He locked his van, and as it was a nice day for a picnic, he took his sandwiches to a field on the hill above Thompson Ground. It's been an easy day today. It was so warm that Pat soon fell asleep. Oh dear. But Mrs. Thompson's hens were wide awake, and Pat had left his sandwich box open, with his keys neatly beside it. The noise woke Pat just in time to chase after his sandwiches. And then he turned round in time to see a cheeky hen stealing his keys. Oh, whoops! I must get my keys back. I can't open the van or deliver my letters without them. Oh, so that's where you've got to. Oh dear, it's a long time since I climbed a tree, but here goes. Oops. Pat was just reaching out when the hen dropped the keys and flew off. Now the keys were stuck in the tree, and as Pat was climbing towards them, the branch gave way and... Whoa! Oh! Right in the middle of a prickly bush. Ouch! Mrs. Thompson had heard the commotion and came to see what was going on. Pat told her about the thieving hen. "Dearie me," said Mrs. Thompson, "the little devil. She must think she's a magpie or some such. We'd better get a ladder and see if we can reach your keys." "There'll be no more post today unless we can," said Pat. "That won't do," said Mrs. Thompson, "especially when I'm expecting a letter from Auntie Jean to say whether she's coming for Easter or not." So they went for the ladder. "I'll take it now." "They're here, all right. Look, I've got them. There's something else up here. Lots of things. It's like a magpie's nest. My." He brought everything down to show Mrs. Thompson. There were all kinds of shiny things. "There's my wedding ring that went missing last Easter. I thought I'd lost it down the sink." "That's all right. I'll get it down. Mind your head." "As my hens have stolen your sandwiches, you'd better come and have some dinner with me. There's plenty to spare." "That's very nice of you." Pat was glad he lost his sandwiches when he saw what a good dinner Mrs. Thompson had cooked. Mrs. Thompson was glad too. She'd got her ring back. But it was soon time to be off. "Thanks for the meal. It was lovely. Come on, Jess." "Jess, come on." "Just fancy," said Pat. "A magpie hen. Who ever heard of such a thing?" Pat stopped to tell Sam Waldron about the magpie hen. "It'd better keep away from my van," he said. "I wonder if that's where my tie pin went." Sounds odd. Oh, just needs a clean. When Pat saw Miss Hubbard, he told her about the magpie hen. "Well, I lost a silver earring last month," she said. And the hat pin? I wonder if they're up a tree somewhere. I must go and see Mrs. Thompson. On the way home, Pat met Alf Thompson on his tractor and stopped to tell him about the Magpie hen. Alf couldn't think of anything he'd lost, but he thought it was a good story. Pat had a letter for him. Oh, one for me. I'll not lose this anyway. Cheerio. Bye. Pat saw some real magpies on the way home and wondered if they had taught Mrs. Thompson's hens to steal. As for Jess, he was asleep.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you can never be sure. There'll be knock, ring, letters through your door. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man. It was a cloudy morning in Greendale, but as Pat set out along the valley on his way to the village post office, it brightened up. A large van was parked in the narrow road. It was Sam's mobile shop. It was going to be a tight squeeze getting past. Come on, straighten up. Come on, you could get a bus through there. Plenty of room. Hello, Sam. Thanks. Could you give these to Mrs. Atkinson, please? Right-o, Pat. Mind how you go. Oh, dear. I think we're stuck. It's all that rain. It's made the ground boggy. Hello, Pat. Still here? Yes, I am. I'm stuck in the mud. I'll give Pete Fogg a shout as I go past. He can tow you out with his tractor. Hang on. Thanks, Sam. Well. Looking at life through a farmer's eyes, always aware of the changing skies, the wind and the rain, They all make their claim as he plows and he sows and sets seeds into rows. He sees all the wonders that nature can bring as he works all the year to bring rich harvests in. Looking at life through a farmer's eyes, always aware of the changing skies. Hedgerows with birds, wild animals and trees. In the bright summer sun, he sees busy honeybees, and he's working with nature as all round the farm. He'll try to make sure good things come to no harm. Summer and winter, seasons all through, there's never a time when there's nothing to do. Setting the crops and preparing the land, he always can do with a good helping hand. Looking at life through a farmer's eyes, always aware of the changing skies. He works between forests and valleys and hills, for the flat even plains with an unbroken view. But wherever it is, still the farmers can claim that they work for our bread with their harvests of grain. Wherever it is, the farmers can claim that they work for our bread with their harvests of grain.
Peter came at last. Hello, Peter. Can you tow me out, please? My van's stuck in the mud. Easy! Sam said you'd need help. I'll just back up. Now then, just tie it on there. Right. All right. Ready? Bye. Thanks a lot. Pat was on his way again. Morning.
Morning, Pat. You're a bit late today.
Yes, I got held up down by Atkinson's. I was trying to get past Sam's van, and I got stuck on the grass verge. Then I had to wait for Peter Fogg to come and pull me out with his tractor.
Oh, a good thing he did. Look, Major Forbes' bull. It won first prize at the county show. Isn't it a magnificent animal? Have you seen it?
No, and I don't think I want to either.
There's a letter for the Major, so you might meet the bull. Better keep a sharp lookout.
I'd run a mile if I saw it. Cheerio. Dee 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 dum 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 ba dum bum bum bi bi dee dum dum bum 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 bee bo ba dum bum 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 bee do rum bum 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 diddly dum bum bum bum.
Ted Glenn was waving to Pat to make him stop.
Some fool's left a gate open. I bet it's those campers. The sheep have got into the clover field. It'll kill them if they eat too much. Can you give me a hand to drive them back? Yes, of course I will. I used to work on a farm when I was a lad. Have they gone far, then? You can see them, up there. They've spread out a bit. We'd better get after them. Hang on, Pat. We've left a gate open now. We're as bad as the campers. I'll shut it. You go that way, and I'll go this.
Right.
Phew. That was warm work. What's that funny noise? Hey up! It's that bull! Run! Oh! Oh! Hey, wait for me! What's up, Ted? Oh, it's my ankle. Oh! By gum, it does hurt. Ouch! I can't get up. I think I've broken it. Now what are we going to do? You can't sit here till it gets better. I'd better go and get Dr. Gilbertson from the village. Won't be long. Pat gave Dr. Gilbertson her letters and told her about Ted's broken ankle. "Oh, dear, my car's in Pencaster being serviced," said the doctor. "Then I'll take you in my van." So Dr. Gilbertson brought her bag. She sat in Jessie's place. Ted was glad to see the doctor. Oh! Ooh! Ouch! She soon bandaged his ankle up. It wasn't broken, just badly sprained. Try not to put too much weight on it now. Pat's walking stick came in handy. Thanks, Pat. Oh. By gum. You'll have to ride amongst the letters, Ted. Easy now. Oh. Oh, dear. Jess rode on Dr. Gilbertson's knee until they arrived back at the surgery. Bye, Pat. Ted was glad to get home. You all right now? I'll manage. Thanks for helping. Cheerio. Bye.
Pat was on his way again. He still had a lot of letters and parcels to deliver. Hello, Alf.
Hello, Pat. Thanks for getting the sheep back. It's the same thing every year. Gates left open all over the place. We'll have to have words with them campers, won't we, Dot?
What a morning, Jess. Rounding up sheep, dodging bulls, fetching doctors. And now we're late with all this post. We'll have to get a move on this afternoon.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat.
Bum 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 bum, dee-dum dum dee-dum bum bum, rum bum bum ba-dum bum bum bum.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you can never be sure. There'll be knock, ring, letters through your door. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man.
It was a busy day in Greendale. Ted was on his way in his lorry to mend a hole in a roof. Pat was out early as well, but he was going slowly. He had such a load of parcels today, and some of them wanted to escape.
What's that? Ah, the places some people throw their litter. Oh no, it's a parcel. Now I wonder who... well, there's an address on it. I'd better give it to Pat. Oh, hello, Pat.
Morning! Parcel for you.
Well, thank you very much.
Sorry I'm a bit late.
Bye. Morning, Pat. I found this lying in the street.
Morning, Miss Hubbard. Dear me, I must have dropped it. My bag is so full today.
Goodness me, Pat. I hope you'll take more care. It's taken a bit of a knock, and I don't think Mrs. Cockett will be too pleased to get a muddy parcel.
Now, don't worry, Miss Hubbard. I'll give it a wipe before I deliver it. It's very nice of you to pick it up for me. Thanks. I've never seen so many parcels. Bye for now. Soon be done now. Ooh, I'm glad that lot's finished. Oh, no. More parcels.
Oh, Pat, I'm so sorry. I don't know where they're all coming from.
It's worse than Christmas. What's going on? All the parcels in the world seem to be coming to Greendale.
Just take as many as you can, then come back for another lot. That's the only way. Little by little, you'll manage.
I think I need a bigger bag. And arms like a gorilla. Now then, Jess, where are you going to sit? Shove up a bit and make room for another parcel. Oh, you know, one of these days there won't be enough room for me to get in. Then you'll have to drive the van, Jess. First stop today was Thompson Ground. Sam was there with Dorothy, pointing to coloured pictures in a big glossy catalogue. Pat had some parcels for her. Hello, Sam.
Hello, Pat. You look busy.
You can say that again. I've had a huge load of parcels today.
Oh, hello, Pat. Are those parcels for me?
Oh, sorry. Hello, Dorothy. Yes, they are. I can't think where they're all coming from.
It's this here catalogue, Pat. It's got everything in. All the things I can't fit into my van. Folks love it. They're ordering stuff like mad, and they'll all come through the post.
It's got skirts and blouses.
Records and videos.
All sorts of cups and mugs. Bye, Pat.
I don't believe it.
Comes in nice, neat parcels. Cheerio.
Oh, dear. Bye, Sam. Well, I don't know how we're going to cope. Jess, you'll have to help. Pat was on his way. He arrives at Ted Glenn's workshop. Ted was looking out for Pat.
Hello, Pat.
There was a big pile of parcels for Ted.
Hey, Pat. There's no need to throw 'em.
Sorry about that, Ted. There's just too many of them. Everyone's ordering from that catalogue of Sam's.
Well, you'll have to move with the times, Pat. You can't just go on staggering about with a bag overflowing with parcels. You'll hurt yourself.
But I can't get the van down the small lanes or through the alleyways.
Nay, Pat. You want a high-tech solution. I'll have a think about it. I'm sure I can come up with something.
I hope you can, before I get squashed under a pile of parcels. Cheerio.
Bye, Pat.
The next day, Major Forbes was on the lookout for a parcel he had sent for, when he spotted Pat behind a pile of parcels. Morning, Major.
Hello, Pat. By Jove. There's my parcel right at the bottom. I'll just...
No, don't! Oh!
It's all right, Pat. I've got it. Cheerio.
This is getting worse and worse. I can't even see where I'm going. One of these days I'll bump into someone.
And I was just saying I could do with a new car. when Sam showed me that catalogue of his.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful. There's everything in it.
I know, but ordering napkins by post is one thing. Ouch!
Someone's pushing.
Now, Pat, you don't need to be so rough about delivering the mail. I'll be having some broken legs to mend.
I'm sorry, Doctor. It's this mail order madness that's come over the whole of Greendale.
Well, I think the post office should do something about it. It's not good for your health, or for ours if it comes to that. I'll put a word in with your boss in Pencaster.
Thanks, Dr. Gilbertson. Bye.
Bye, Pat.
It was time to call on Ted again. He was fiddling with some mechanical bits. Morning, Ted. More parcels.
Hello, Pat. Have a look at this. I think it'll solve your problem. The Mark I Super Speed Postal Scooter. Just what the modern postman needs in the age of mail order.
It looks grand, Ted. I like the parcel box in front. Is there room for a cat?
There's room for everything. Why don't you try it out? Have a test run.
Well, I don't know how you've done it so quickly. I'll just try the seat. What are you doing, Ted? No, don't start the engine! Oh! Help! Call the fire brigade! Oh, mother!
Are you all right, Pat? I think it needs a few adjustments before you use it for real, Pat.
That Pat, he makes a great racket these days when he goes round with the village post. Aye, well, it is a bit noisy, but...
Morning!
He certainly gets round with the parcels now.
There's nothing like a ride in someone's garden. Mr. Pringle wondered what the noise was, but soon found out. Morning, Mr. Pringle! The steep hills slowed Pat down a bit, but only when he was going up them.
Hello, Pat. Is this one of yours?
P.C. Selby was looking for Pat.
Morning, Mrs. Goggins. Can I have a quiet word?
Morning, P.C. Selby. I thought you might be popping in.
Oh, I've had some complaints. It's this high-speed postman of ours.
Poor old Pat. He's only trying to do his job.
Right enough, but he's making a dickens of a racket and endangering life and limb.
Let me have a word with Pat. I know he'll listen to me. No need for him to be in trouble.
I'll leave it to you then. Thanks. See you, Mrs. Goggins.
Bye, P.C. Selby.
That looks like P.C. Selby. Was that P.C. Selby just now?
Yes, it was, Pat. And it was you he was talking about.
Oh, don't tell me. I can guess.
He's really annoyed with you. All that noise and smoke, tearing around on that scooter thing.
But how else can I deliver all the parcels on time if they keep on coming like this?
Well, Pat, just as it happens, there's a parcel for you today.
For me? Who can be sending one to me? It's not something from one of Sam's catalogues, is it? It's one of those trolleys. A proper postal trolley. What do you reckon to this, Reverend?
Wonderful. Ah, you see, the Lord will provide.
No, it came from the post office in Pencaster. It's to help me deal with all these parcels. I must be going. I've parcels to deliver. Cheerio.
Bye, Pat.
Come on, Jess. You can give me a ride when we've done. But Jess wasn't at all sure about that. Who ever heard of a cat pulling a trolley?
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you can never be sure. There'll be knock, ring, letters through your door. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Pat feels he's a really happy man.
It all started early one morning when Peter Fogg met Mrs. Pottage.
Morning, Peter.
Morning, Mrs. Pottage.
She was on her way to the post office with a big parcel. A very big parcel.
Shop? Anybody in? Hello, Mrs. Pottage. I was just brewing up. Would you like a cup? Hello, Mrs. Goggins. Well, I'd love one, but I mustn't stop. Don't want to be late taking the twins into Pencaster. Not too disappointed about the tour, are they? They'll be back by this evening, in time to join in the fun. How much for the parcel? There, now, that'll be £3, please. Still, it's a pity the twins will be missing the mystery tour. Oh, they're too excited about their birthday treat to worry about that. Well, I must say, it's certainly a mystery. Even Pat, who's taking them in the post bus, doesn't know where they're going. Oh, that must be him now.
Morning, all.
Morning, Pat. There you are, Pat. I'd better be off. Good luck with the mystery tour. Don't get lost.
I think getting lost might be part of the fun.
Well, it'll make a change from delivering the post.
It certainly will. I wonder where Mr. Pringle is taking us. Bless me, is that the time? I must be off. They'll be waiting for me at the school. Bye for now.
Bye, Pat.
Pat was on his way. He'd already done his rounds early, and there was nothing to pick up.
Good morning, Pat.
Morning. It wasn't far, just round the corner, to the village school. He was right on time.
What are we waiting for?
Anyone missing? Let me see. Lucy, Sarah, Julian, Charlie and Bill. Good, all present.
You won't.
Hello, Pat. Ready? Hello, everyone. I'm ready to go when you are. But where to?
Well, I will. I'm better at
Well, I
you
think
are.
that someone should read out the first clue.
Instead of school.
Who's it to be?
Me. Lisa. Lisa. Me. I want to.
Me.
Mr. Pringle gave the paper to Lucy Selby.
Find a spinning granny. She'll give you some thread.
A spinning granny? She'll get dizzy. Mine would.
Now then, we want to be home before dark. So have a good think, then let's be off. First, how can a granny spin without getting dizzy?
A coin with a washing machine. A wheel.
A spinning wheel?
I know who has a wheel like that. Granny Dryden.
Shall we go and see? First stop, Granny Dryden, please, Pat. I think I know where that is. All aboard the post bus. Come along, children.
Hooray! Hooray!
Mind the step.
I'm first.
Don't push.
I want a seat near the window.
Where's Charlie? Mr. Pringle going to sit in front with
Mind
Pat.
the door.
Come on, Lucy, you're holding the coach up.
You'd better sit with me, Mr. Pringle, in case we get lost. Off they went.
Sit down, I can't see. I bet I'll solve all the mystery questions. I bet you don't.
I will. I'm better at it than you are.
I wish we could have this.
It was very quiet at Granny Dryden's cottage. Charlie knocked at the door, whilst Lucy peeped in at the window.
I'm first. Don't push.
Was this the mysterious bit? They all crept in to find out. What a surprise! Sitting at an old-fashioned spinning wheel, in clothes they had only seen in books, was Granny Dryden, fast asleep. Oh, dearie me! I must have dropped off to sleep.
Hello, Granny Dryden. We're the mystery tour.
We've come for the thread.
I nearly forgot. Now, what did I do with it? It's somewhere in here. Ah, what's this? That's it, I think.
Thanks, Granny Dryden. Oh, a little parcel. There's a reel of cotton, and it says on the paper, go to a place where the night is not dark. Give the cotton to a lady.
Where the night is not dark, but it's always dark at night.
I know where there's a night. Well, his suit of armour anyway.
At Garner Hall, where Major Forbes lives. And the suit of armour is bright and shiny, so it's never dark.
What about the lady? There's only Major Forbes at Garner Hall.
I suggest we go and find out. Bye, Granny Dryden.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.
Won't you stop for a cup of tea? Oh, we'd love one, but we have to be off. Sorry. Bye. Thanks, Granny Dryden.
I wish we could have this every day instead of school.
All aboard for Garner Hall. mustn't make a mistake on a mystery tour. Otherwise, you end up getting lost. But Pat soon found Garner Hall, his next stop.
Where's the knight? Spooky, I call it.
There's no lady either.
I can hear someone.
Made it at last. Hello, one and all.
Hey up! It's the knight! Lady Hubbard greets you with her basket of surprises. Now, who's to give me something?
Oh, you do look lovely, Miss Hubbard.
Oh, thank you, Lucy. Now, what about the basket?
Thanks, Miss Hubbard.
Have a look in the basket. You might find the next clue.
I've got it. It says, find a royal crown in a very small town. Go post haste. There is no time to waste. A royal crown?
Haven't seen any in Greendale. There's one on the post bus.
And there's another on Pat's van.
Pat always stops at the post office.
We'll ask him to stop there again today, shall we? Come on.
Good luck. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mind how you go.
Cheerio. Bye.
Cheerio.
That wasn't easy.
But we're not finished yet.
Bet we get the next one quick.
Look who's talking.
Oh, shut up, you two.
It didn't take them long to get back to the village and on to the post office.
Here they come.
Oh, I feel all funny dressed up like this.
Hooray for Greendale!
Gracious me. It sounds as though you're at a football match.
Are you part of the mystery tour?
We
We are.
Could I have the next clue, please?
Now, how did it go? I've got it. Take the road to a place where a tree stands tall. Don't let a man stop you if he should call. Take and blow this trumpet, then wait.
And this key will later help you to open the gate.
I think we can remember that. Thanks. Off you go, Pat.
Careful. See you soon.
Have fun. Bye.
The children were quiet. They were thinking about the next clue. Then Charlie had a go on the toy trumpet. It wasn't very quiet after that.
Pringle, Charlie's blowing. Let me have a try.
What's this? A highwayman.
Stand and deliver.
Hooray! It's Ted Glenn.
Wow, what a knock.
The thing's stuck. Come on.
What's he doing, Mr. Pringle?
Stand and
I think he's got something caught in his coat pocket.
Ah, gotcha. Your money or I'll tickle you helpless.
Julian, I think you should ask Ted for the last clue.
Here you are, young Julian.
Thanks, Mr. Highwayman.
Cheers.
Mr. Pringle, I've got the next clue.
Let's not waste time. I'll read it out.
Oh, do shut
It
up.
says you must find a straw man. He works all day and he works all night. He stands quite still to give the birds a fright. Blow the trumpet and unlock the gate.
I've got the trumpet.
We know.
What about the straw man?
It's a scarecrow.
Next stop, a scarecrow.
Bye, Highwayman. Ted.
Bye.
Mind how you go.
I wish I could dress up like that. And I'd take money off people.
You'd lose your specs, silly.
I wouldn't give over you.
They soon came to the scarecrow. He was standing outside Thompson Round.
Come on, follow me.
Wait for me, because I've got the key. Oh, it's fiddly. Got it. We're got drinks.
Just in time. Come and get it.
I bet you're all hungry. There's plenty for everybody.
Safe and sound and thirsty. Have you got something for a hungry highwayman?
Hello. Welcome to the fancy dress party.
Yippee! I want a hat like Ted Glenn's.
Jess was there, wondering what all the fuss was about. Well, what's the mystery?
Hey, you finally made it.
It was the children who got us here.
I'll drink to that.
I'm afraid I forgot to check. You think she will mind? Stay.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat.
Early one morning, Jess arrived just in time to be let in with the milk.
And the day is just
Hello, Jess. Just in time for breakfast.
Julian was waiting for the milk, and Pat wanted a little drop in his tea. But Sarah didn't forget Jess.
Time to be getting a move on, said Pat. I wonder what sort of day it's going to be. Let's see what the old barometer says. Oh dear, just look at that. It's pointing to snow. Now then, let's have a look at the sky. Not a cloud.
Pat tapped the barometer just to make sure. That's what I thought it said. Snow.
Great. Snow?
You mark my words, said Pat. We'll have snow today. I've never known my barometer to get it wrong.
Snow? Said Sarah again. Never in this world. There's not a cloud in the sky. Snow? Said Julian. I don't mind. We're going on a nature walk this afternoon. It'll be more fun with a bit of snow. I better take some extra sandwiches, just in case.
We'd better tell Mr. Pringle.
It might not happen, said Sarah. Now off you go, or you'll be late.
It was cold outside, even though the sun was shining. Pat hurried along to the post office. Ted Glenn had his scarf on, a sure sign that winter was on the way. Morning, Pat. Morning, Ted. Morning, Mrs. Goggins. Brr, by gum, it's cold today.
Morning, Pat. The post is none too hot either.
I reckon it's going to get colder. My barometer was pointing to snow this morning.
Snow? Oh, dearie me, not already. Surely not snow. Such a nice sunny day. Now, what was George saying when he popped in with the eggs? He had the radio on in his van. I'm sure they said it was going to be cold but dry today. Not a word about snow.
These folks on the radio, what do they know about the weather in Greendale? Now then, my old barometer, I've never known it to be wrong.
Jess had found something to play with. Pat and Mrs. Goggins were too busy to notice what had happened to the string.
Now, that's for the village. I'll just tie it. Oh,
Now, where's that string? It was here a minute ago.
Is this it?
Well, I think it is, but what's happened to my nice, neat ball of string?
That cat can sense when snow's on the way. Come on, Jess.
It looks as if a whirlwind's been at it. Never mind snow. Him and his cat.
Pat was on his way. Morning, Miss Hubbard. Have you got your snowshoes ready?
Snowshoes? Whatever are you talking about, Pat? We'll not be seeing snow this side of Christmas.
Oh, don't be so sure. My old barometer...
Oh, pooh to your barometer. I go by the TV.
Well, mind how you go. There was a parcel for Dr. Gilbertson. Ready for the snow, Doctor, said Pat. Plenty of plasters and cough mixture, eh?
Snow? Said Dr. Gilbertson. What's all this about snow, Pat? It's a lovely sunny day and I always have a good stock of medicine to hand. You never know when you need it.
My old barometer says it's going to snow today.
Oh, Pat, I'd rather go by the Met Office. More scientific. They have computers, you know. Anyway, look at the sky, you and your barometer. I don't suppose it's the snow that chewed the corner of this parcel.
Oh, well, it's when the weather's on the turn. Cats, you know. Very sensitive. It's not too badly chewed, is it? Urgent letters. Gotta be off. Cheerio, Doctor. Morning, Pat. Lovely day. Morning, Alf. Have you got your stores in? Stores, Pat? What stores? Winter stores. In case you get cut off in the snow. But there isn't any snow, Pat. Not a flake. The man in the paper said it was set fine for 2 weeks. Oh, thanks, Pat. That's not what my barometer says this morning. Now, where has that cat got to? I saw something streak across the yard. It's not like your Jess to do that. Jess! Jess! What are you doing up there, Jess?
Hello, Pat.
Hello, Dorothy.
Now, hasn't your Jess been stuck up enough trees in his time? When will he learn?
He knows things we don't know. Come on, Jess.
Well, he's got a funny way of showing it.
Pat was on his way again. Next stop was Granny Dryden's. Morning.
Morning, Pat. Lovely day for the time of year.
Unseasonal, I'd say.
Mind you, it was never like this when I was a girl. Come November, the snow would be coming down like feathers. We were cut off for weeks. We couldn't get to school, you know.
You mark my words. We'll have snow today. Well, mind how you go. Bye.
Bye, Pat.
I don't know, Jess. Nobody seems to believe in my old barometer anymore. I'm not sure I do. But they can't say I didn't warn them. Nothing like a spot of woodwork. Better take this end off. Morning, Ted. Hello, Pat. Ted, you've not let your stove go out, have you? I was just looking forward to a good warm-up. I'm too busy to bother with it, said Ted. Besides, it's like a spring day today. You get warm doing a bit of sawing and that. I'd get it going now if I were you. There's a real cold snap on the way. If you'd seen my barometer this morning, I've never known it to be wrong. Nay, Pat, that's old-fashioned stuff. It's best if you leave that sort of thing to the experts. I listen to the radio. I don't know about all these new-fangled knickknacks. Give me my Grand's barometer any time.
Hello, Pat.
Hello, Sam. Pat arrived at the village school, just as Mr. Pringle was setting out with the children. Morning, Mr. Pringle. I hope you're not going far. There's snow on the way, you know.
Well, don't worry, Pat. We'll be as safe as the letters in your bag. You know what the scouts say. Be prepared. Besides, here's the Pencaster Gazette local weather report. Set fair to the weekend. Well, you couldn't ask better than that.
That's not what my barometer says. It says snow.
Well, I promise we'll be really careful. We'll just go up the teeniest hill, no further than Birkhow Barn at the most.
Well, mind how you go.
It makes you wonder, Jess.
There again, I could be wrong. Morning, Pat. Morning, Reverend. Doing a spot of sweeping up the leaves? Well, no, Pat. It's this sand. Makes such a mess. Gets everywhere. There was I thinking there was snow on the way. Then, bless us all, the wind turned, and out came the sun. The good Lord smiles upon us at mysterious times. I do hope you're right, Reverend. I'd best be on my way. Cheerio. It certainly is a mystery. You never know. Mind, that wind's getting up. And here come the clouds.
Hello, Pat.
Afternoon, Mrs. Pottage. There's a parcel for you today.
Thanks, Pat. I'd best not open it. I promised to meet the twins on their way back from... Oh, Pat, look.
Snow at last. My dear old barometer was right after all. We'd both best be on our way before it gets really bad.
And there's the ancient oak and the willow. And when the cold weather comes, the little creatures will begin the long winter sleep.
I wouldn't mind staying in bed for the winter, said Tom. Mr. Pringle.
And over in the meadow, the swift hare. Remember to put that in your nature diaries.
Mr. Pringle, look.
And here we see the last of the dog roses.
Oh, please, Mr. Pringle. It started to...
Over there, that's bracket fungus. Don't touch it. It's deadly poisonous.
I'm cold.
And there the rooks, flying from tree to tree, swooping and... Oops! Ow! My foot! Ouch, it hurts! Oh...
Oh, Mr. Pringle, are you all right? It's getting a bit snowy and cold.
Can we go home, please?
Oh, ouch. Well, yes, that would be a good idea. A very good idea. But I don't think I can walk, children.
Dad's barometer was right after all. Oh, I wish he was here with his van to take us home.
George! George! Where are you? He can't have gone far in this weather. Is that you, George? I've got a letter for you.
Thanks, Pat. Put it in the basket, will you? Now then, look at this. Those little marks in the snow.
Tracks. Well, it's not Jess. He hates the snow.
I reckon it's a fox, after my prize hens.
Best lock them up safely, said Pat. Cheerio.
Bye, Pat.
The snow was getting deeper by the minute, and the road was slippery.
Ooh, oh dear.
Coming downhill, Pat slid backwards into a field.
Oh dear.
Luckily, the gate was open. At last, Pat reached the village. He stopped outside the school to collect young Julian. Hello. Where is everybody?
Oh, Pat, said Sarah. The children aren't back yet. They must be lost in the snow with Mr. Pringle.
You were right about the snow, Pat. Your old barometer beats my radio.
I wish it had been wrong and the children were back safely.
Now then, said Mrs. Pottage, they'll be all right with Mr. Pringle.
Yon snow's getting awful deep.
They should be back by now.
It's getting dark,
said Ted. Well, the snow's stopped at least. Something must have happened to them. Now, I remember Mr. Pringle said they were going as far as Birkhow Barn.
They might have taken shelter there,
said Ted. I wonder if I could get through with my van.
You'll only get stuck. I'll tell you what. Why don't we have a go with my lorry? It's bigger and heavier. We'd have a chance.
There's a barn over there, Mr. Pringle. We could go in and shelter. We'd be warmer out of the wind.
Well, that's an excellent idea, young Julian. We're getting slower and slower in this snow. Come on, children.
Ah, great! Bill's found a light.
Now, children, let's settle down.
I don't like sitting in the dark.
There's plenty of straw.
Nice and cosy.
What do we do now?
Ah, that's better.
Nothing much.
Ouch, my foot.
I don't like the dark.
Now for the emergency supplies. Hot cocoa and biscuits. Any idea where we are, Ted?
Well, I've seen that tree somewhere before. But everything looks different in all this snow.
Then they get stuck in a snowdrift.
Oh, that's done it. Come on, Pat. We'll have to dig ourselves out. You dig your side, Pat. I'll dig mine. Back. Won't take long. Oh, hot work this. That should do it. Let's give her a try.
Here is a song, not very long, to cheer you up when things go wrong. You might begin to think that you're sitting on a problem. Don't let those thoughts get to you. Clap a rhythm, make a happy sound, and take a positive point of view.
If you're really lost and the weather's getting frosty, don't let children blow on you. Clap your hands and make a rhythm, then we'll find that we'll win through. Oh no, that sounds bad, said Pat. It's not but a bit of wet got onto the plugs, I bet, said Ted. It'll be all right when I get it dried out. I'm sure I know this lane, said Pat. I'll just have a look. Not that I'm going to see much in the dark. Better be getting back. What's that? It sounds like... Oh! Oh! It sounds like singing. Ted! Ted! There's somebody over there, singing. I heard them. Clear as clear. What are you on about, Pat? Singing? How can there be? Listen. You're right. Let's get a move on, said Ted. So, here you are. Wait, it's Pat and Ted. Hooray!
Hooray! Hooray!
Come on, you lot. That's enough singing. We'd better get you home. Take it easy, Mr. Pringle. Take it easy. Like a hand, Mr. Pringle. Easy as you go now. Watch that foot. Thank you, Ted. Last one. Up you go. Okay, Ted. The Lord be praised. Here they come.
I hope they're all right. Katie and Tom, I'm so glad you're safe. What about the others now?
What a story young Julian had to tell Sarah.
It was great fun, really it was. It's a bad sprain. You will soon be fine with a bit of rest.
Well done, Pat and Ted. That was magnificent. But I know one thing. Next time I want to know what the weather's going to do, I'll ask Pat what his barometer has to say before I do anything else.
Hear, hear? Me too.
Champion, said Ted. Proper champion.
Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he picks up all the post bags in his van. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat, and his black and white cat. All the birds are singing, and the day is just beginning. Pat feels he's a really happy man. Everybody knows his bright red van. All his friends will smile as he waves to greet them. Maybe you can never be sure there'll be knock, ring, letters through your door. Postman Pat, Postman Pat.